So my dear friends and Talmidim, once again a brief thought on the Parsha. So before I share Dvar Torah with you, Baruch Hashem, I got the second part of the vaccination, of the vaccine, and I feel just well, Baruch Hashem. I had some pain in my left arm, as expected, but it passed in a very short time, and I feel well. And I plea and beg all of you, whoever can, please vaccinate. In Eretz Yisrael, we are in the worst stage of this pandemic since it broke out almost a year ago. We have almost 10,000 people infected every day. We have many deaths every day. People are dying daily. Many of them Anshe Shlomeinu, within our community. Many of them. And it's tragic. And B'derech HaTeva, the only way out is with a vaccine. This pandemic has been tragic on so many levels. Death, suffering, pain, and illness. So in Eretz Yisrael, we are approaching 4,000 people that died in this pandemic. But tens of thousands that have suffered and are still suffering, and some of them will bear the scars for the rest of their lives. The Bitul Torah is unbelievable. So yeshivas open and close, and cheders open and close in the same seminars. Our entire educational system is in tatters, is in jeopardy. And we cannot even begin to assess how much spiritual difficulty and destruction this brought about. So we need to do everything within our power, not only to prevent the disease and follow all the rules, but now rush to vaccinate. So in Eretz Yisrael, Baruch Hashem, we have tremendous progress in vaccinating. I know that in Chutz La'aretz, we're still at the beginning, but I strongly not only encourage, but beg and plead, whoever can should vaccinate. So in this week's Parsha, we start learning about Aseres HaMakos, the 10 plagues. 7 out of the 10 are described in this week's Parsha. But even before the very first Makkah, Kodesh Baruch Hu tells Moshe Rabbeinu in advance, Va'atu tidaber, es kol asher atzavechu va'aron echichu yedaber al paroi, ve'shilach es b'nei Yisrael mi'artzoi, v'ani aksha es leiv paroi, ve'erbeisi es eisoisai ve'es moifsai b'yeretz Mitzrayim. The Rambam and many other Rishonim discuss the question, if a Kodesh Baruch Hu in advance says, I'm going to turn his heart into stone, and he actually has slave paroi, and he will not send you, he will not release and give freedom to the people, so why does he deserve such harsh punishment? Oineis rachmona patrei. Kodesh Baruch Hu in advance said, ani actually slave paroi. The Rambam deals with this question in Perek Hey and in Perek Vav Melchus Shuva. Perek Hey generally talks about Yediyah and Bechira, and the very well-known argumentation between the Rambam and the Ravid. But in Perek Vav Halacha Gimel he deals specifically with Paroi, and he asks exactly this question. So why was Paroi punished again and again and again, 10 plagues, if HaKadosh Baruch Hu in advance took away his Bechira? He had no free will, ani yakshas levavoi. And the Rambam writes an amazing thought. Sometimes, when a person is so awful and he's such a big Baal Aveira, HaKadosh Baruch Hu takes away his Bechira. He should not be able to do tshuva, and that is part of his punishment. The Rambam shares this idea once again in the Parsha Mishnah, at the end of Masechet Brochos, and the Rambam there writes that this thought is Oroich v'rochoik v'omoik omoik miyim tze'eno. Very uncommon language for the Rambam. Lecha oira, Paro did not deserve punishment for the period in which HaKadosh Baruch Hu hikshat levavo. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu just prevented him from doing tshuva. But all the punishment he and his people received was only for the past, not for the present. Because in the tkuf of the Aseres HaMakas, he had no bechira. He had no other option. He could not send them because HaKadosh Baruch Hu hikshat levavo. So we would ask once again, so what's the point in Aseres HaMakos? I'll explain what the point is. Next week's Parsha's boy in the beginning of the Parsha. Lamanta sapa biozne vincho ven vircho as asher saltalti b'Mitzrayim v'sasoyse asher samti bam. Asher samti bam. Who is that bam? Lefi pshuto shel mekra the Mitzrim. Es asher et alalti b'Mitzrayim ve'et ototai asher samti bam b'Mitzrayim. But another pshat is es asher et alalti b'Mitzrayim ואת אויסויסאי אשר שמתי בם באוזני בינכו ובן בינכו. There were two objectives and two goals in the 10 plagues. One was to punish. To punish Paro and the Mitzrim for their treachery, for their achzorius, and for the way they treated Bnei Yisrael and Goras Mitzrayim. But the other was to bring the people back to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to strengthen their amunah, to strengthen their betochen, to bring them back. After hundreds of years of Golos, they were so far away. When Moshe Rabbeinu comes and speaks in the name of Hashem, they ask, who is Hashem? Who is He? And Moshe Rabbeinu turns to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, they will ask me, who are you? Ma oimer aleim, what's your name? What a mind-boggling question. What is your name? So Bnei Yisrael experienced these 10 unbelievable miracles just to open their eyes and open their hearts and bring them closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Es oisoisaya shesamti vam. And every year, B'Leila Seder, we quote Rabbi Yehuda, Yenoisa bem Simonim datzach hadash ba'achav, and that is abbreviation of the 10 makas. And I always ask at my Seder, why does he split into 3 or 3.5 categories, which is asymmetrical? Why not 2? Each of them 5 letters, indicating 5 makas. Why isn't it datzachad sheba'achav, 5 and 5? I saw on one of the Rishonim many years ago, and I have to look it up. Maybe you will. Datzach, Adash, Ba'achav are 3 categories, 3 distinct and different categories. The first 3, Dan Tzvadei Akinim, are miracles performed in the lowest level of creation. The dirt of dust of the earth and the water in the seas and in the lakes. Dam in the lakes, in the ocean. Tzvardeya coming out of the waters. And kinim ba'afar ha'aretz. The next 3 are orov, dever shchin, in the bodies of a humankind, of men and of animals. We upper the level from the earth and the waters to the living creatures, and that is orov, dever, shchin. The next 3 are in the heavens and the heavenly powers. We go up another stage, and that is barad, falling out of the skies, arba, brought by the winds, and then we go up an additional stage to choshech, likui ha'ma'oros, blocking out the light of the sun, and ultimately nefesh ha'adam, the human spirit and the spark of human life. And that is the side, the secret, the code of Datzach Adash Ba'achav. So the objective of these makas is not only punishment, it's not only Midas Adin on Mitzrayim, it is Midas HaRachamim on our brethren, on Bnei Yisrael, to bring them closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to open their eyes and their minds after hundreds of years of pain and suffering and slavery, hundreds of years being torn away from HaKadosh Baruch Hu to bring them back. And that is what the Seres HaMakos are all about. I don't deal a lot with Schar v'Oinish, and some of my Talmidim realized that I was asked many times, why doesn't the Rav ever speak about Schar v'Oinish? And I don't, because it is entirely above and beyond the realm of our understanding, the way HaKadosh Baruch Hu deals with Schar v'Oinish. So the Rambam is Machadash, HaKadosh Baruch Hu sometimes takes away the bechira of human beings. In Bava Basra Daf Yudom et Beis, Rav Yosef Breder Rabbi Yoshia was very ill, and he almost died. And when he came back, his father asked him, what did you see up there in the heavens? What did your neshama see? And he says, I was shocked. Olam hafoch ro'isi. I saw a world upside down, topsy-turvy. Elyonim lamata v'tachtonim lamala. Those people that have so much covenant in this world were nothing up there. And the simple ones that are bizoyan down here were so much respected up there. And Rabbi Yeshua says, Olam yashar ro'iso. What you see here is an olam hafach. Only HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Aboichin Kaloyes Belev, knows how to judge people. And sometimes HaKadosh Baruch Hu takes away the bechira. So the Seres HaMakos were not only about punishing Paroi and the Mitzrim, they were primarily opening the eyes and the hearts of Bnei Yisrael and bringing them closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Planting into their hearts emunah and bitachon. They should realize and witness and understand ani rishon v'ani yachon umi balodai ein Elohim, ein oid melvadoi, Elokei Hashamayim hu Elokei Oretz, Datzach, Adash, Ba'achav, even higher, the sun and the moon, Ma'ores Hashamayim, from the smallest creatures, and Nefesh Ha'adam. There is only one HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. Ve'ein oid melvadoi. To prepare Bnei Yisrael to Geula, to open their minds and their eyes and their hearts to come closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So every year, when we read the Parshat of Yetzias Mitzrayim, we need to feel the same. We need to do the same. Opening our eyes, our minds, and our hearts to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. To be mischazik in emunah ve'betachon. This vaccine is a nace. It's a miracle. Nobody believed a few months ago that it'll be developed in record speed. So yes, we have to thank the hundreds, the thousands of scientists, researchers, doctors cooperating and making this happen. But we also know, Im Hashem lo yivne bayis, shavav lo boinav boy, Im Hashem lo yishma yishav shakad shoymer. It is all siyata dishmaya. It is all siyata dishmaya. It's all from Hashem, and ultimately it is Hashem that we need to thank. And it is to Hashem that we need to turn. And in every shmuz, in every talk I've been giving in the past year, pleading and imploring and begging to follow the rules, to do whatever we can to prevent the spread of disease, to vaccinate, I also call on everyone to daven and not to forget for one moment. It's all up to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Hu ha'mochetz v'hu ha'merapeh. Ani emchatz ve'erapeh. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu magdim refuah lemaka. So let's daven to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We should be zoiche b'korah b'yameinu. Ki yameitzeichem me'eretz Mitzrayim. Ma'arenu niflois. HaKadosh Baruch Hu should send b'korah Moshiach tzidkeinu b'mheiro v'yomeinu. Amen. Have a beautiful Shabbos.